The Middle East, a region steeped in history and culture, has often been characterized by a persistent state of instability. This instability can be traced to a confluence of historical, political, economic, and social factors that have shaped the region over centuries. Understanding why the Middle East is frequently embroiled in conflict requires a multifaceted exploration of these elements, each interwoven with the others, creating a complex tapestry of challenges that continue to affect the lives of millions. To begin with, the historical context of the Middle East is crucial. This region is often referred to as the cradle of civilization, where some of the earliest human societies emerged. However, this rich history is also marked by a legacy of conquest, colonization, and division. The fall of the Ottoman Empire after World War I led to the drawing of arbitrary borders by colonial powers, particularly Britain and France, without regard for the ethnic, tribal, and religious identities of the people living there. These borders often split communities or forced disparate groups into the same nation-state, sowing the seeds of future conflicts. The resulting nation-states were often weak, lacking a cohesive national identity, which left them vulnerable to internal strife. Moreover, the establishment of Israel in 1948 and the subsequent Arab-Israeli conflict have added layers of complexity to the region's instability. The displacement of Palestinians and the ongoing struggle for land and recognition have created deep-seated animosities that continue to fuel violence. This conflict is not merely a territorial dispute, it is also a profound symbol of national identity, historical grievance, and religious significance, making it particularly intractable. The failure of numerous peace processes over the decades only serves to exacerbate tensions, with each setback deepening the sense of injustice felt by many in the region. The Cold War further complicated the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East. Superpower rivalry led to a series of proxy wars and interventions that destabilized various countries. The United States and the Soviet Union sought to expand their influence by supporting different regimes and factions, often disregarding the long-term consequences of their actions. The Iranian Revolution of 1979, which led to the establishment of a theocratic regime, exemplifies how external interventions can lead to unforeseen and far-reaching consequences. The U.S. response to the revolution, including its support for Iraq during the Iran-Iraq War, only served to entrench divisions and foster resentment that persists today. In more recent history, the U.S.-led invasion of Iraq in 2003 marked a significant turning point in the region's stability. The removal of Saddam Hussein created a power vacuum that unleashed sectarian violence, particularly between Sunni and Shia factions. The subsequent rise of extremist groups, notably ISIS, highlighted the fragility of state structures in the region. The chaos in Iraq reverberated throughout the Middle East, leading to increased tensions in neighboring countries and the proliferation of militant groups. The Syrian civil war, which began in 2011, further illustrated how internal strife can have regional implications, as various countries became involved in the conflict, either directly or indirectly, exacerbating the situation. Economic factors also play a pivotal role in the instability of the Middle East. The region is rich in natural resources, particularly oil, which has historically been both a blessing and a curse. While oil wealth has the potential to drive economic development and improve living standards, it has often led to corruption, inequality, and a lack of diversification in economies. Many governments in the region have relied on oil revenues to maintain power, neglecting the needs of their populations. This has resulted in high unemployment rates, particularly among the youth, and widespread discontent. The Arab Spring of 2011 was a manifestation of this frustration, as citizens across the region rose up against authoritarian regimes in the hope of achieving political and economic reform. However, in many cases, these movements were met with brutal repression, leading to further instability. Additionally, the role of religion cannot be overlooked when discussing the Middle East's instability. The region is home to a variety of religious and ethnic groups, each with its own historical grievances and aspirations. The Sunni-Shia divide, in particular, has been a source of tension, with geopolitical rivalries often playing out along these sectarian lines. Countries like Iran, which is predominantly Shia, and Saudi Arabia, a Sunni-majority nation, have engaged in a struggle for regional dominance. supporting opposing factions in conflicts throughout the Middle East. This sectarian lens complicates political alliances and often exacerbates violence, as groups mobilize along religious lines rather than seeking broader national unity. Social factors, including education and youth disenfranchisement, further contribute to the region's instability. A significant portion of the Middle Eastern population is young, with many facing bleak prospects for the future. Inadequate educational systems, limited job opportunities, and pervasive corruption create a sense of hopelessness among the youth. This demographic is increasingly turning to social media and other platforms to voice their frustrations, leading to a rise in activism but also a potential for radicalization. The internet has become a double-edged sword, providing a means for mobilization but also a tool for extremist ideologies to spread. Moreover, the impact of globalization cannot be ignored. While globalization has the potential to foster economic growth and cultural exchange, it has also led to increased competition for resources and jobs. In the Middle East, this has often resulted in heightened tensions, as local populations grapple with the effects of global market forces that can undermine traditional livelihoods. The influx of refugees due to conflict and instability further complicates the situation, straining resources and exacerbating social tensions within host countries. The international community's response to the challenges in the Middle East has been inconsistent and often counterproductive. While there have been efforts to mediate conflicts and promote peace, these interventions have frequently been hampered by a lack of understanding of the region's complexities. The tendency to prioritize short-term stability over long-term solutions has often resulted in the entrenchment of authoritarian regimes, fostering resentment and unrest. Moreover, the focus on counterterrorism has sometimes overshadowed the need for addressing the root causes of conflict, such as poverty, inequality, and lack of political representation. In recent years, the rise of populism and nationalism has also influenced the dynamics of the Middle East. Leaders who capitalize on fear and division can easily gain support by portraying themselves as protectors of national identity against perceived external threats. This has led to increased polarization within societies, making it even more challenging to foster dialogue and reconciliation. The rhetoric of fear can undermine efforts to build inclusive societies, as communities become more insular and distrustful of one another. Despite these myriad challenges, it is essential to recognize that the Middle East is not a monolithic entity. Each country within the region has its own unique history, culture, and set of circumstances that shape its trajectory. While instability is a common theme, there are also examples of resilience and progress. Civil society movements, grassroots organizations, and individuals working for change demonstrate that hope exists amidst the turmoil. The voices of those advocating for peace, justice, and democracy are often drowned out by the cacophony of conflict, yet they persist in their efforts to create a better future. Ultimately, the question of why the Middle East is always unstable is not one that can be answered with a single narrative. It is a region marked by a rich and complex history, where the interplay of various factors, historical grievances, geopolitical rivalries, economic disparities, social dynamics, and religious identities, creates a landscape fraught with challenges. Understanding this complexity is crucial for anyone seeking to engage with the region, whether as a policymaker, academic, or concerned citizen, as the world continues to grapple with the implications of instability in the Middle East. It is imperative to approach the region with nuance and empathy. Solutions will require collaboration, dialogue, and a commitment to addressing the underlying issues that perpetuate conflict. While the path to stability may be fraught with obstacles, the potential for positive change exists, driven by the resilience and aspirations of the people who call the Middle East home. In the face of adversity, these voices can serve as a beacon of hope, reminding us that even in the most challenging of circumstances, the quest for peace and justice remains a powerful force.